G'day, I'm Melissa Shannon, founder of digitalscrapbookinghq.com, and I am here with a live stream for Layout Day 2024, February 2024. This is day one of the challenge that is hosted by Alice Bowl over at scraphappy.org. Thank you so much for joining me, and today I'm going to be using the challenge prompt from Layout Day game night, which is day one, and the prompt is share a tale of rivalry or friendly competition. How did it turn out? And use a checkerboard design or contrasting elements on your layout. So Alice had said to us that it's totally fine to share that information with you. The prompt's already gone live, and we have until midnight Pacific time today to get it done. So let's jump in and see what we can create. I'm going to be working in Photoshop Elements 2024. And I've already got some things collected up to help me, a couple of photos that I want to use. But I'd like to get a group. Was there a group photo at the end? There was. Probably 720. That might be the best one I have. But we'll definitely be doing some cropping. So, this page inspired me because I recently was part of a business development course, which was called the +8 Accelerator. If you follow my website, you might have seen me post about it late last year. And what we're going to do is just start off with a blank page. So we're going to new blank file. Then I'm going to the scrapbooking options, and I'm just going to do a 12 by 12. And I'm going to save that right away because you don't want to forget to save, especially if you're doing Layout Day and you're needing to get a layout every day. And I usually name them by the date. And then luckily for me, well, luckily for you perhaps, I have already gone through and typed my journaling, so you don't have to sit here and watch me type that. I usually use a size 14 font because that is pretty readable when you print it out at 8 by 8. So even though I scrap at 12 by 12, I usually print it at 8 by 8. So let's just see how much space this journaling is going to take up. So that's probably going to take up a fair bit of the page. So I need to decide which photos I want to include. I think it might be fun to maybe I'll put this one in. But I think what I might do is just have it automatically select those boxes for me. You can use the auto selection to do that. And I'm just going to add, I can see it hasn't quite got the corners there. I think the rest is pretty good. If I jump that to a new layer by pressing Ctrl J, I can turn off the layer below and see, yep, that's a pretty good extraction. So then I'm going to duplicate the layer and just pop it on my PSD. Here you go. And I'll probably just have that there. So this is me winning my prize, and then this is everyone in the group. Kind of in two minds as if we want to include both of those shots because they're very similar. We will need to crop this photo down because it's pretty awful. I actually should contact the city of Joondalup to see if they've actually got a better shot. But for today, this is layout day, so I really cannot be fussy about my photos. So it's me winning. What about me presenting? That will shake it up a bit. So let's go back to I think that one was actually quite good because it kind of showed the crowd. Let's do that. And I'll make it the same size as the other photo, approximately. So when I resize here, I can feel it snapping to the, well, let's see what snapping I've got on there. Guides, grids, layers. Now it won't automatically snap to the edges of this other layer here because it's actually this one is a layer mask. So I'm going to just ungroup that. I'm just going to crop it even more. And here's a little trick for you. Sometimes what I do is I'll actually just resize things. Oops. And take them off the edge of my page. And then I can just now again, this is layout a day, so I'm going to be doing a scrapbook layout every single day. So possibly not my best work. Always. kind of thinking, do I even need this second photo? Let's just see. This one here. I like the idea of something a bit blue, so let's go the logo and everything for this accelerator was kind of a dusky blue. So let's pull this one in. Okay, and now we need, I think, a white because that text is quite heavy. So let's go back over to organizer. And let's pull in a white. It's a nice, got a nice texture there. And then I'm going to just crop this down with the layer mask. Oops. Make sure I've selected the right layer and then crop it down. And move my text layer to the top of the layers panel. And then let's see if we can resize it. Now when we resize our text box, we need to double click on there and just move the edges rather than resizing it from outside of the, like, you know, if I just resize it here, it'll just make the font size different, whereas I double click on it then I can properly resize it. So I think that's good so far. I think we can just clip a little bit more off this one. Okay, so we want to switch the colors here. Then with my layer mask, I can delete and it'll remove that part. Just resize it a little bit. Now, I tend to leave my photos as smart objects and just leave the layer masks on there so that I can get it really precise before I delete or change anything. You know what? I haven't left space for a title, have I? So, how can I fix that issue? I can just put this photo below here maybe. If I just cut it down here. Well, I'm not really cutting it. I'm just hiding it behind that layer. And then I'll just resize these boxes. So I have actually set up these devices, but I haven't got a good photo of them yet in action. And then, shall we go for a cardboard alpha? So I've got all my alphas here, tagged here in organizer. I'll just have a look. Oh, is this cardboard? That's cork. There's a cardboard one that's corrugated. If if we go to view details, we can actually unstack the whole alphabet. Not quite what I'm looking for. So this is where you can really slow yourself down. I wonder if this would work. I might try it. Not sure if it'll actually work and the letters aren't in order for some reason. I'm just going to check. I'll drag them in. And P. Obviously I didn't have L. No. L. L U S E I G H. No T either. T. I'm going to move all of these up to the top by pressing Control Shift right bracket. And then they're transparent. Didn't think about that. That won't be enough contrast. I could fill them with a white background, but this is layout a day, as I keep telling you. So moving on. So I don't instantly see anything jumping out at me that's really awesome for these alphabets, and I need to stack a lot of my alphabets so they're easier to look through. You do that by clicking on the first one and clicking on the last one, holding down Shift. Oops. And then you just do stack selected photos, and then you've stacked all of these up together. So that makes it easier to browse through your whole library. And there's this one here, which could kind of fit the bill, but again, I'm moving on. Okay. Oh, I should say, it's not actually the +8 accelerator. It is a +8 pre-accelerator I did. In case anyone's interested. And I'm kind of inclined to just use my this is the usual font I use on my website because it's kind of because it's something to do with my business. I think that would be good. Now I could make it look like more like paper by clipping it to this same white paper. Oops. Clipping the white paper to the text here, which I think might be a good idea. And I'm just going to resize this so that it's about the same size and width. Then I can add my layer styles, drop shadows. The built-in drop shadows in Photoshop Elements are quite heavy, so I like to use One Little Bird's layer styles. I don't know that they're still for sale. Mummish has some ones that are very similar. And you can just use, I'm going to add show names here. I'm going to use a paper shadow. I wonder if I've got anything in here that's like second prize or something. Second grade. Perhaps not. Second star to the right. Cute. What about a prize? What about a rosette? I wouldn't search for ribbon because you'll get too much. Oh, this could be good because it matches with the color scheme and it kind of gives the indication of that, of like a ribbon prize thing. Let's see if it matches. So I just double click on my page and click and drag it in. Now they did say contrasting embellishments. Not really contrasting at all, but it's some embellishments. So let's say that is good. I feel like that's a bit disconnected. Can I go to the layers panel? Can I bring this down closer? And can I bring like everything on this page up? Yep, that's good. Oops. This feels like it's floating here, but not really sure what to do. Another thing I could do, which I do sometimes do, is you can just take a screenshot of a screenshot of this. That could be another option. Let's see. Save this. That video is coming soon to YouTube. Haven't edited it yet. But maybe that would be more fun than these boxes because it's actually a bit more engaging with me in there. People make their layouts more engaging. It's not just because... Okay, so pop that there. Oh, why did the unboxing? Now, if you do hit your number pad in Photoshop Elements, it'll adjust the opacity of the current layer. So 0 is 100%, 1 is 10%, 2, 20, 30, 40, 50. So if you are one of the old school people that still has a number pad on their keyboard, that's what happened there. I kind of think I want to still add the boxes here, but also still have this. So I've made a random kind of selection where you can see the edge here will go over the text there. And then let's add a little more. I'm just making a selection and having that. So the photo is partially solid and then partially goes right up to the So how can I explain that better? So I've created a layer mask that hides part of the photo so that it looks like it's partially squared off, but also these boxes are just hanging on over the edge of the text there. All right, so now we just need to move things around. Maybe I'll add a few more rosettes to make a whole edge here. Black one, a white doily, a cardboard one. Okay, let's see what this turns out like. I didn't want to open that time. So you just drag it on and then drag them. Then they get opened. We can drag them on from the photo bin. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You can move these all up to the top of the layers panel again by clicking shift clicking to select them all. Control shift right bracket. Turn off the photo bin so we have more space. Okay, so I think that looks pretty good. I'm just going to hold down shift and then click on each item. Then I'm going to resize these and move them to where I want them to be. It's pretty good. Or is it better to put them on this side? That might be better. If you hold down Alt while you move a layer, you actually make a duplicate of that layer. So let's select all of these and then put them in the order we want to put them in. And then we're just going to select all of those layers, hold down shift, and then add layer style. I feel like they need a bit more. So I'm just experimenting with these different layer styles to see how the different ones look. think I need something softer. So I'm just going to clear the layer style. Maybe the flat flower is the best thing. So I might create these as a group. So I'm going to shift click on the layers and Control or Command G, just so that I can move them around. And the hilarious thing is now I'm like, no, I think we just need the boxes rather than everything, because that is just very busy. Or do I just do something like this where mostly it doesn't show? I don't know. Definitely moved into overthinking mode here. I'll delete that whole group. And then I'll just move this spiky guy up a bit. Doesn't really cover up the letters. Move that one down. And then move this one up. Just going to turn off auto select layer for a minute so that I can just move these around. Maybe that's just good enough. I don't know. I think that might be it, guys. It's coming up to an hour, so I better save my work. Export it. Maybe I can add some glitter to here. Have I got? I'll turn on auto select layer again. I'm going to just go to my layer styles. Do we have any built-in glitter in Photoshop Elements? Probably not. Okay, I think this glitter, that's good. Now, usually I would use the layer styles a layer style for this, but just because we're running short on time, well, we're not actually running short on time. There's still hours to go in the challenge, but I don't want to have, I want to get it kind of, I want to get this one done. So there we go. So okay, now we've got a bit of glitter to give it a bit of bling, and I've got the date in the journaling. I've got a title. I've got some embellishments. I've definitely not got any checkerboard pattern, but let's save it as a file, and then I'm going to go and upload that to scraphappy.org. And if you're in there, I'll be commenting on some layouts that I spot in there. I hope to see you joining in. And if you're not a member at Scrap Happy, you can check them out, scraphappy.org. And if you'd like to learn more about Photoshop Elements or digital scrapbooking, you can head to digitalscrapbookinghq.com.